swear it only keeps coming back because I love the music. Welcome back to the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. Time now for everyone except Michelle's favorite game, no fence riding. I've got my eye this week on a series of statements surrounding sports personalities that caught the internet's attention. So we'll run through these real quick to find out which side of the fence Mike and Mac land on. Number one. Everything in the WNBA is getting better these days, except for the officials. This, of course, coming from Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White discussing the hard fouls on Caitlin Clark that she took in a game against the Sun earlier this week. Max, start us off here. Do you think this was over the line, or is this just the tempers flare? What did you think?
I have no idea. I just know when I was a kid in the 80s and I watched the NBA with Michael Jordan, who was a pretty good player, he got his rear end kicked routinely by the Detroit Pistons, to the point where it was a book called The Jordan Rules, where an entire team's philosophy was to punish him every time he had the ball. And what's going on with Caitlin Clark is not about substandards officiating. It's about team strategy and saying, take her out. I don't care how you do it. That's sports. She doesn't like it. Tough. I like the way Sophie Cunningham handled it on the court. But the idea that this officiating is any better or any worse, I don't know. I mean, it's bad everywhere. It's really, really hard. And if they're griping about that, get over it. She's a meal ticket, but she's a great player. She's the fastest gun in the West, and teams and players specifically are going to do everything they can to take her out. Get over it.
Mike?
Yeah, listen, I can't proclaim to be an expert on the quality of WNBA officiating and whether it's any better or worse than it was 4 years ago. I think Mac is right that obviously a player of Clark's caliber is going to be a target. And I think that Mac's also right that, yeah, Sophie Cunningham, go get you some. That was awesome. Like, that's how you defend your best player. That's what you do. If you're going to be in a situation like that where the other team's going to do that, you need Charles Oakley to go back. Yeah. You need somebody to come in and take care of the situation. Sophie Cunningham did that. So, listen, did you see the play at first base a couple of days ago? I forget, it was a Tigers game where the ball was, like 8 feet beyond. It was no question that the runner was safe, and he was called out. I mean, the officiating's bad kind of everywhere, so I feel for the gripe, because I think the gripe is everywhere, but the gripe is everywhere.
The only thing I'll say is that it's funny that the WNBA is like, we need to be less physical, and everyone is screaming for the NBA to be more physical. All right, moving on here to the second statement. This was prevalent after the Alcaraz Center French Open Marathon. Tennis players are the best total athletes of any sports. And I'm going to leave best athlete open to interpretation for you guys based on your own standards here. Mike, which side of the fence do you land on here? Do you agree, or is there someone else you'd like to nominate?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to. I mean, listen, tennis players are fantastic, and that French Open final was awesome. So I'm not trying to take anything away from tennis players, but best athletes on the planet, I'm going either NBA players or NFL cornerbacks. The sheer athleticism required to stay with a CeeDee Lamb 70 snaps a game, that's extremely hard. And then you look at the things that a LeBron, a Giannis, a Victor Wembanyama do on the floor. That's, heck, Anthony Edwards. I mean, the athleticism in the NBA is in my mind, as good as it gets.
Mac?
No, I'm not giving it to pro tennis players. And I think one thing that everybody has to stop and recognize in this debate, if you are a professional athlete in any sport, you are an exceptional athlete. And you can probably walk onto any court or any field or any floor in any sport and do very, very well in any of them. I have noticed that time and again. You could find a hockey player and they're great on a golf course, or they might be really good on a basketball court. They're good. They may not be the best, but they're good in any of them because they are so athletic compared to just the average Joe.
I was going to say, the only exception, try getting those professional athletes into the pool and see what they do. All right, finally here, number 3. LeBron James used his podcast to take aim at ring culture, saying that they're a team accomplishment and that rings shouldn't be all, end all. Mac, different setup this time for you. Is this more of a problem with the message or the messenger?
I don't have any problem with either one. I like LeBron James a lot. I think he's been great for the sport. I understand he says things sometimes that make people upset, but the fact that he makes himself available and he puts himself out there routinely, I give him a lot of credit for it. I look at all the expectations that were heaped on him when he was a teenager, and the fact that he exceeded them is remarkable. I think he's right. I do think I think our priorities are a little messed up sometimes about ring culture. Would we love Dirk Nowitzki any less had he not won a ring? No, we wouldn't love him any less. You look at those guys who are big parts of communities, even if they didn't win it, they're still beloved, and you can still have a great career and a big part of it, because so many things have to go right to win a championship. And we've seen guys who aren't as good win championships compared to guys, Ernie Mays, Ernie Banks, any number of guys. So I do think LeBron's got a point about this. Sometimes we say yeah, you should want it, but it's not the be all end all.
Mike?
I think Mac's right. I think LeBron's right that it is overblown, but I do think you're wrong, Mac, in one regard, and that is I don't think people should love Dirk any less if he didn't win a championship. I think some fans would. I think fans would say, oh, he's Tony Romo, he's Dak Prescott. I think that's the way that people would look at it. And I think LeBron's absolutely right. We've overdone it. Rings are important.
Right.
They're a vehicle to have this conversation. It's not the be-all, end-all. Mac Engel of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Mac, we appreciate it very, very much. Wrapping up the season with us.
Enjoy the summer. Stay with us.
Thank
Mike's
you.
final take coming up next.